are organized with organizing your Schoology classroom. First, we're going to access Schoology here on your WASD dashboard. I have a previous class pulled up, so this is an example of what my class was organized like. You can see that I have a lot going on at the top here. You are not obligated at all to have all of these things at the top of your Schoology page, but we're going to go ahead and just show you some of the basics to help you organize your class. So to get started, you'll have several classes. You may only use one, particularly if you're in the primary grades. So you might want to choose just a homeroom class, or if you have multiple classes and you want to use those, you want to direct students to the correct place to go. An easy way to do that is to come over here and edit the picture on your Schoology page. For this particular class, I used Bitmojis, and I had several made of myself with a thumbs up and some with a thumbs down to tell kids, yes, this is the class you want to use, or this is not the class. So once you have that organized so your students know where to go, the first place you want to look is into your updates. Under updates, here you can give students the important information that they need, let them know about upcoming field trips, or add links, anything like that you might need, and it will notify all of your students. This is also a great place to put something like this at the top. This is a Bitmoji classroom or a header, and I have another video on that. This directs my students to the days of the week. I found it was easiest to just organize all of my materials by lesson and then link those lessons to the particular day of the week. So on Sunday, as I'm getting ready for the next week, I would come through and just edit all of my links. So when students click on a particular day of the week, they know all of the materials that they need to complete and all of the directions are there for them. Makes the organization very simple. The name of the game in Schoology is basically to keep students contained within Schoology and not send them out to a bunch of different links, but also don't make them dig through a bunch of different folders and pathways to find the materials they need. We try to have everything together. So how would I do that? Here, for example, in my Monday folder, I may have a math lesson for Unit 4, Lesson 6. So what I did in my materials, I come over here under Materials, and as I added my materials, you can see that the announcement stays at the top. When I add all of my materials, I add folders, and then I organize the folders in a way that it makes sense to me. So for example, maybe Unit 4, I give it a title so that I know where in my curriculum it is, but also what is the topic. So that way, if I'm looking for a specific subject matter, I don't have to go back and dig through my curriculum to say, oh, that was Unit 4, or that was Unit 3. I have everything listed right here. But this is the important part I want to show you. So each lesson and its topic are listed here under their own folders. So if I go into a lesson, this would be the link that I would want to copy and then send back to my updates for Monday, say. So when students click on that Monday folder, they come here. This saves me having to move all of my materials in and out of a Monday folder or a Wednesday folder every week. It makes it very easy, keeps it organized, and then I can use it year after year with some minor updates and adjustments. So I may want to put the date in here if I had something particular going on, but I would always start with any kind of a bell ringer, then any kind of vocabulary that students would need, and then the lesson itself. So this is the main teaching set of materials that they will refer to, and I would always add the standard. So by tracking the standards, I can go into my gradebook or into my mastery, and I can see every place that students have been exposed to that particular standard and how proficient they were. Any lesson checks I would put in here as well, and then any homework or enrichments. So I would always keep those at the bottom. So you can see this is one self-contained folder. If I back up, I have a unit lesson folder and all of my materials for the day within that folder. So what would that look like? Students would open up, when they click, say, the Monday link, that would come into this particular folder, and they would just need to start at the very beginning. I'd have my bell ringer, then I move into any vocabulary that I might need, then into my lesson. So in a lesson, I always put the essential question, and then I would try to include some kind of a video. The video is not something that I'm going to show in class. It's essentially for my particular level. I would record all of my lessons in a very short amount of time, so maybe 5 to 8 minutes. And this is something that students can refer back to. More importantly, parents can refer back to if they're trying to help students. It also works very well if you have a flexible instruction day, or you have students who are absent, they have work to make up. They actually get the instruction right here. And then, as I mentioned before, any of the main materials that I want students to have access to as we go over in class, it's right here. So this can be a self-contained, self-directed lesson. And in the way that I've designed it, it's a very useful thing for students to meet them on their particular levels. So then, they click through next, go into their lesson check. That helps me level my students by getting a quick sort of formative assessment on where they are. Those that did really well, I might send them down into the enrichment piece. Those that need some more practice can go into the practice mode, and then I also get immediately my group of students that I need to meet with and go over all of the materials. Now this is more for a middle school or secondary level. Perhaps in primary, you may not want to put all of these things. So what kind of things would you put in primary? Well, you may embed some videos if you had something that students needed to access, or particular links for that day. And it may be something that you do want to create a Monday through Friday folder and then teach students to go there, because they're not going to be interacting with Schoology on an independent daily basis. So really, it's a matter of organizing yourself to get the most utility while not having you recreate all of your lessons and materials every single day. So now that everything is organized, I can assign it, again, updating my links here at the top so that students get access to exactly what they need.